Christine Brown, star of Sister Wives, and her 2 children were cruelly murdered in Mexico by her new husband's niece. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like. The U.S. Sun can exclusively disclose that the niece of Sister Wives star Christine Brown's new husband David Woolley and her 2 children were cruelly murdered in Mexico. In a wedding special that aired earlier this month, Christine, 51, and David, 60, exchanged vows, providing fans with a glimpse of the Sister Wives star's new family. Subscribe to the TV and entertainment newsletter. We will use your information in compliance with our privacy policy. Evelyn, the mother of the construction executive, gave a moving speech at the reception, while David's kids were in the bridal party. He once said that he had 2 sisters in Mexico who were married in polygamous unions. Karen, Shanna, Roy, Tamara, Harold, Christine, and Patricia are David's 7 siblings. Originally from Mexico, Karen is now 70 years old and resides in Utah. Tragically, in November 2019, her daughter Donna Ray Langford passed away together with Donna's 2 children, Rogan J. Langford and Trevor Harvey Langford. They were among the 3 people killed in the extensively reported tragedy in Mexico that claimed the lives of 6 children and 3 American mothers. The 9 victims were ambushed while returning to the United States in 3 different SUVs from a Mormon hamlet in northern Mexico. According to reports, the Mormon group, who hold dual citizenship, was traveling to Chihuahua, which is located roughly 100 miles south of the Arizona border, for a wedding. According to Mexican officials, the family was erroneously assaulted by one of the cartels after driving into an area where rival cartel groups, who were engaged in a territorial conflict, had engaged in gunfire earlier that day. On November 4, the victims were killed by drug cartel gunmen who opened fire on the cars on a highway. Donna was 43 years old, and her 2 kids, Rogan and Trevor, were 2 and 11 years old, respectively. Ramita Miller, 30, Christina Langford Johnson, 29, Howard Miller Jr., 12, Crystal Miller, 10, and the twins Titus and Tiana Miller, ages 8 months, were among the other casualties. TLC and David Woolley have been contacted by the U.S. Sun for comment. Devin Langford, the son of David's niece, escaped the fatal assault. He was hailed as a hero for going 14 miles to get aid while hiding his injured siblings in the bushes. His younger brother, Brixon, was wounded in the chest, and his sister, Kali, was shot in the foot. According to Devin, who was then speaking with his father, David Langford, on ABC, Donna was a nice person and a brave woman that tried to save her kids. David said, "Every one of my children that survived that are living miracles. How many children were involved in that horrifying event? And how many gunshot holes were fired into that vehicle? It's incredible. The fact that they lived is simply astounding." David Woolley's sister, Donna's mother, also talked to Reuters about the death of one of her 7 children. "I can still hear her saying, 'Hi, Mom, good morning.'" Karen added, "Do you know, we will sincerely miss her terribly." The Attorney General's Office of the Republic said in a news statement, the month after the attack, that a number of people linked to the indescribable violence and homicides had been taken into custody. About 20 people had been taken into custody in the case by February 2021, according to Mexican authorities, but there are still more warrants pending. Ivan Gustavo Hernandez Cabral, 24, was taken into custody by the U.S. Marshal Service in September 2023 after the agency acted on a tip. According to CBS News, Hernandez Cabral was being detained for extradition to Mexico in relation to the ambush. In their complaint, the victims' relatives claimed that the Juarez cartel had carried out the ambush in Mexico as payback for their open criticism and demonstrations against the organization. The Juarez cartel was sentenced to pay $1.5 billion to the relatives of the victims by a federal judge in North Dakota in July 2022. Subsequently, it was announced that the award made by U.S. Magistrate Judge Claire Hochhalter was automatically tripled to $4.6 billion under the Federal Anti-Terrorism Act. Members of the LeBaron family, who seceded from the Church of Latter-day Saints decades prior, were among the victims slaughtered. David doesn't appear to have ever been a part of the organization, but before she passed away in 2012, he was previously wed to his late wife. Around 1890, Mormon fundamentalists began migrating to Mexico, mostly due to the issue of polygamy. Raven gets heat on her birthday. Hello everyone, my name is Alana B. Welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like. Alaskan Bush People star Bear Brown shared a loving message to Raven on his Instagram. It came in honor of his baby mama's birthday, but loyal fans seemingly have longer memories than Bear, so many of them slammed her on the post. Keep in mind, many of them previously stood by Bear during his bad times with Raven. During their many on-again, off-again engagements, it emerged that the one thing Raven hates above all else is the lack of privacy from the Discovery show. So probably, she feels hurt and angry about comments on her birthday. But fans know the couple went through a hard time in the past. We reported they only became a couple again after a long separation, and it seemed particularly toxic. Recall, Raven accused her Alaskan Bush People ex-fiance of abuse and drug use. Plus, they got into a custody dispute over their son River. Actually, some rather awful allegations arose from both sides. She claimed he abandoned his son River. Meanwhile, Bear claimed she refused him access to his son, and at one stage, Bear claimed he never saw River because of the coronavirus. But the drug test he took to prove his innocence annoyed people. Bear shared a sweet photo of himself with Raven and his son River. Unfortunately, he doesn't allow embeds of his pictures, but you can see it on his main Instagram account. His caption read, "Today is the love of my life's birthday." Next, he added, "She is the most amazing and beautiful woman I've ever known," describing her as an angel and the most important person. He also said he loves her with all his heart. In fact, the Alaskan Bush People star can't imagine a world without her. Finally, Bear said, "Happy birthday, Raven, my love." Well, some Discovery fans simply hate the idea that Raven might hurt Bear again. One of them said, "Unfortunately, when something happens, and she gets pissed again, she'll keep that cute little guy away from his daddy again." More negativity went on in the post. One of those critics said, "Anyone that uses a child against someone is a pose. No excuse for it, the child was just born, she wouldn't even let him meet his dad." Then, this comment came in, "Didn't she accuse you of doing drugs? Always watch out for how people treat you when you're not on good terms." But it never ended there. This Alaskan Bush People critic wrote, "Careful or you spend a lifetime being controlled by a woman that will call the cops the first argument or publicly accuse you of doing drugs. Poison runs through some girls' veins." Clearly, Raven really upset fans when she hurt Bear. It looks like it will take a long time before they trust her not to hurt him again. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, American Pickers 24, and stay with us.